A little secret safe with me. Oh, little secret. You and me for just one night. So please, baby, let's do it right. Oh, I'm gonna keep it. And I know your lips still tight, but not tighter than the grip that I feel tonight. So from a step in the place. Me no text, you say oh me no call you. Say me just a go on like me no bother want you. Baby no go on with the one bag of drama. You know say me nah give me love to another. See it say you vex and you want big fight. Babes are the sex so me want ignite. Maybe we argue after round 5 and see if you feel the same way inside. If I want you pre don't bother me, cause stress and pain is a bother bit. I'm back. First to the face here, the voice today, Dodo say I kogency for the kogency reacts channel. And today, I tell you, may I change up the setup. So today, we have a documentary. You understand? I just did the Blanco, the Omis, and E1 reaction. So I can check those out. But today, we have the Jamaican Yardies gang full Gangland documentary from the Gangland documentary channel. So, I feel like probably not every day, but probably like every couple of days, we're going to do a documentary. You understand? Skyboy, I think they upload our next video, you know. So I think we need to check out Skyboy again. But we're going to check out this Gangland documentary. Because you know Gangland, them go in depth, them go all across the world, all across the globe. So if you like this one, by the end of it, just let me know if you want to see some more. But probably I'm still going to do more anyway, even if you tell me to do it or not. You understand? So before I jump into it though, let's hit the like button. Let's jump into the comments and let's subscribe. Subscribe to me. Let's subscribe. What, like 4,789 subs. I know the exact number. I check it this morning. You understand? And what I like is you guys been subbing while I haven't been uploading, which is crazy. It's like you guys subscribe more when I don't upload, which doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, hopefully that I am uploading again. You know what I'm saying? I get some more subs. Because we soon reach 5K. We need to hit 5 and make it live. You understand? So let's subscribe. Let's leave a like on this video. You understand? Should we subscribe to? Yeah, let's just subscribe to the Gangland documentary channel, bro. If we're going to react to the video, just subscribe to them. Like me, if you're going to watch my video from start to finish, let's just subscribe, bro. Just show some support, you know what I mean? And let's jump into the video.
Miami, Florida, August 1992. A massacre at a crowded restaurant leaves 4 dead, 18 wounded.
Bro, this is 8 years before I was born.
The gunmen are Jamaican gangsters.
Since 1986, we estimate over 4,500 deaths attributed to Jamaican violent crimes.
London, November 1993. The funeral of community policeman Patrick Dunn, shot dead in Clapham by Yardie drug dealers.
Their recourse to violence is much quicker than any other group, certainly that I've known. And the overtness of it is quite staggering.
Yeah, that's one thing I can say. You know, the result to violence, yeah. Quick thing. Me know you know the long talking, the long, oh yeah, pre brother, what you do? Alright, that you do? Alright, I'm gonna do what me I do then. I swear to you, that's how it always goes.
Kingston, Jamaica, the home of the Yardies. Assignment examines why the ghettos of Kingston have produced international drug dealers feared by the police on both sides of the Atlantic.
And the thing they like to do is shower their victims with bullets.
Facts. But it's not all like this still, you know. So I feel like I forgot what some like beautiful, you know, show the beautiful side of Jamaica after this. Because I know I just make it seem like say, yo, this alone, you know. It's not this alone.
Maypen Cemetery in Kingston, the capital of Jamaica. Here lie the gunmen, the hustlers, the drug dealers, the exploiters and the exploited. Many of those buried here never made it to the age of 35. Even the biggest of all are brought down to earth. And no one was more powerful than...
No, what's wrong with this Wi-Fi, man? Don't do this to me.
Brought down to... Even the biggest of all are brought down to earth.
Alright, there we go.
And no one was more powerful than Jim Brown, the original Yardie. He was overlord of a community which became the crucible for a new breed of drug dealers. Under his control in the 1980s, the Yardie was born.
Yeah?
This is the close-knit world of Tivoli Gardens in West Kingston. Drug dealers from Tivoli are found in London, New York or Miami, but they never sever their links with home, which they call their yard.
Yeah,
Tivoli
you know?
was Jim Brown's yard. Here he was revered.
Jim Brown was a community leader in our area. He was loved by everybody, old, middle-aged, young, everybody.
Yeah.
Jim Brown bankrolled Tivoli. Much of his wealth came from crack dealing in the United States. His gang, the Shower Posse, led the Jamaican assault on the US drugs market. Some of his riches came back to Tivoli and helped fund community projects.
Facts.
Old people, they would come and hug him, kiss him. I know people love him off real because the person he is.
Yeah.
Because the person he is. Always trying to help someone, say something to them. Word of encouragement, saying to the kids, talking to the kids, telling them that they must try to achieve a better tomorrow because, you know, they have to go to school and things. He's a principled person. Believes in a lot of principle.
Jim Brown came to Miami in 1984 to see what was going on with his Shower Posse and their drug dealing activities. And while he was here, in November that year, he walked into a house and executed 5 people. He walked around each one of them and shot them in the head with a .45. Jim Brown is a bad, bad man.
You see how they show that right after him widowed wife say all of those positive things about him. So who you gonna believe? Don't get me wrong, he was who he was, you know. Someone now say maybe him never do that, you know. But still, like, you know, there's two sides to the story always.
When he was arrested at the request of the Americans, he faced charges of murder, drug trafficking, extortion. From prison, he fought a legal battle against extradition. He lost the fight, but he never stood trial in an American court. It was said that too many powerful people would have been implicated if he had. Jim Brown was burned to
Too much politician would have been implicated.
death in his cell. Officially accident, more likely murder. Edward Seaga, the former Jamaican Prime Minister and Jim Brown's patron, led a funeral procession of 35,000 people. Tivoli is Seaga's constituency, and Jim Brown had brought in the votes. His drugs gang had established the Yardie connection in the United States and Britain, but in Jamaica he remained a hero.
Look at the man in terms of how the community respects and treats him as a protector of their community. Thank you.
In 1980, Seaga...
As it is, like, it's so funny because it's like the public, the people on the ground, they will never know the conversations that him and Brown have between themselves, you know. Whether good or bad, whether, you know, certain things never end up how one man did want it end up and it therefore end up a certain way. You understand what I mean? But everybody on the ground, them just say, wow, yeah. It's like, oh God, it's just funny, dog. It's just funny.
Seaga's love affair with the electorate was consummated when he won power for the Jamaica Labour Party, the JLP. The United States government liked his right-wing stance and channeled support through the CIA. The money was used to buy guns, which were distributed to party activists in the ghettos. On the other side of the divide was Michael Manley, leader of the left-wing People's National Party, the PNP. Manley too had his power bases in the ghetto. And the fervour of the support for the two...
It has sound away, but they're the most malleable. They're the people that you can influence the most, because, you know. You understand? Yeah.
Parties created the biggest ideological gulf in Jamaica's history. It was a time when the Cold War was being fought in the Caribbean. Cuban guns and money were behind the PNP.
Cuban guns and money.
During the 1980 election, Kingston erupted in an orgy of violence.
What me want to know is, I plan this for do it while everybody outside, cameras, civilians and everything. Like this clip, I see this clip from like as a teenager growing up, right? But you just having a all-out gun battle in front of everybody, and this no look staged. This no look like, you know. Don't get me wrong, in a real gunshot of fire, you know, so it's not staged, but still, surely this was planned or orchestrated.
At least 800 people were killed as the parties battled for votes.
800.
Of the gunmen who survived, many have since become Yardies.
Ball game.
Tivoli's world is still polarised. Every aspect of life is touched by political division.
Kill him! Kill him, blood clot!
Kill him!
And as ever, Edward Siaga is present to express solidarity with the home side. These are his people, body and soul. The manager of the Tivoli team is known universally by his street name, Popcorn. He's an activist for the Jamaica Labour Party.
Anyway, everything all right, I go down the line.
To Tivoli folk, he's a community protector like Jim Brown.
Shot him!
In the 70s, Popcorn was a JLP gun runner.
Sometimes life in the ghetto here, no work, nothing, you know. No work, nothing, because if a PMP or a JLP, if him not cut him up, him shot him. And at the same thing, two sides. If me all a PMP, I mean, no so well, and if me do all me, I go damage me, I go damage him.
And they say it there.
Selection will come on, and the side out the street start fire. We have to fire back. But we're not bored, man.
We're not bored, man.
So you see, that side they have gun, that side they have gun. We buy gun them still. I mean, that man me travel with my little gun, you know. And anyway, me I go me carry it, man, because me a labor right, you know. Me I figure out that to the PMP, so they shoot me.
So they
yeah, my enemy are the PMP them, because them don't know what is good. All them know if you do is stay out the street and rob people, shoot innocent people.
A victory for Tivoli, yet another excuse for gunfire. In the ghetto, the legacy of the politician is the M16. Tivoli Gardens was the birthplace of the Yardies, but it's in central Kingston where many of the most active dealers and gunmen are now found. Within the area, there are two distinct ghettos. The PNP stronghold with the unlikely name Tel Aviv, and its neighbour Southside, which is unequivocally JLP. Separating the two is Rosemary Lane, the front line. It's calm now, but at election times there's bloodshed across this line. And within these two enclaves, all authority rests with a series of street corner dons, and their role in the social structure of this city should not be underestimated. I began a journey across the ghetto, starting on the corner controlled by Chubby, a JLP fighter who's been in prison for murder. Chubby owns a bar, and like all the community dons, is known only by his street name. He's been a leading Southside don for 20 years, even surviving an attack by a PNP assassination squad.
Wow, assassination squad.
Smoking marijuana is ingrained in Jamaican culture, especially amongst Rastafarians. It's illegal, but here the authority of the police carries little weight. The street corner don, supported by political chiefs, is the crucial figure of authority. And to maintain control, he has to enforce an alternative form of justice.
What happens to people that step out of line then?
Sometimes they get beaten.
Badly?
Yeah, badly, and even the police don't like it. Within the community, you can quash certain things before it reaches law. But you know, when you reach law, you can get a sentence.
Yeah.
Like a man might reach few licks, and that can let him behave himself. He might don't do that thing for the rest of his life.
Chubby's domain.
Man say a few lick, you know. It's not just a few, brother. A whole heap of beating you get, brother.
Is a bleak one. The politics of partisanship has left an indelible mark here. Communities where the gunmen flourish are known in Kingston as garrison towns.
Who are the people here?
I'm a brethren, you know. I'm a brethren them, you know.
They're your brethren?
Yeah.
And this is your headquarters?
My corner, yes, my headquarters.
Southside has few services. This street has been polluted by raw sewage for months.
Aye.
Most of the people in this area no job?
Yeah, most of them. I'll call that 75% of the people.
75% of the people not working. No, sir. Then what else am I gonna do?
And who don't have no job, they got to hustle.
Hustling means drugs. Dealing and using are part of the fabric of life. Half of all crack users are teenagers.
How do people afford to buy crack? It's an expensive drug.
Some who do it, them steal all them parents' things, rob outside and all them things, you know, to support their hobby. And then you have some crack people who smoke crack in this whole building over this side here, so.
Crack is a uniquely addictive drug. The user will do anything for the next hit. The evidence of crack use is everywhere, but the profit margins for the drug dealers here are too small. The ambitious seek their fortune abroad, in Britain or the United States. Bordering Chubby's territory is Renker's Corner. The Renker's leader was Delroy Edwards, known as Uzi because of his use of the machine gun of that name. The Renker's gang still control this corner, even though their leader is serving 6 life sentences for murder in a US jail.
6?
Members of the Renkers formed a vicious Yardie gang that grew rich on crack trafficking in Brooklyn and London. Uzi was known for his brutality, but to those left behind, he was a benefactor.
Send things, and when them even come in, send carry down clothes, support, send things. It make we all live good down here then. Everything's set for us. Send us sneakers and support. Keep a treat for the little kids. Give a little package to the old people and make everybody feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Amongst those who remain in Southside, life offers few prizes. And the attraction of going foreign, as they put it, become overwhelming.
Yeah. That was the 8 thing back then, you know, going to foreign.
Streets are full of people who've gone to Britain or the US and been deported for drug trafficking. People like Floyd Hurd, a Yardie who was forcibly returned to Jamaica after serving a long jail term in Ohio for crack dealing.
Money started coming in, and there was so much that I stopped working, start doing drugs. What happened is I became one of my best customers. Instead of selling, I started using more than anything, and then being messed up in the mind.
Yeah, you can hear him accent still. Yeah, you can't feel that.
Stop working, start doing drugs.
Start doing drugs.
What happened is I became one of my best customers. Instead of selling, I started using more than anything, and then being messed up in the mind. Come backward.
Why them cut
Eventually, one day I got busted in the house. I ran out, jumped to my car. Police started shooting at us. I tried to get rid of the drugs, but I failed. The police was up on us so fast, I didn't even know what happened. I got shot 3 times, trying to get away from the cops, threw away a .38 slug revolver. I got 10 years in the penitentiary.
10
I know
years.
this stuff destroys people, but the money, this greed for that cash. Today I learned better. I'm 37 years old today. I wish I'd go back to 17 where I could make that same decision again in life.
Meaning him saying wouldn't do it again. Well, let me see.
Today I learned better. I'm 37 years old today. I wish I'd go back to 17 where I could make that same decision again in life.
For sure you said. Nah, I wouldn't do that again.
With crack, there are few winners and many losers. And despite so many friends either dead or in jail, the Renkers still find it impossible to resist the temptations of the American cocaine trail.
Who don't really want to go to the States? And me myself want to go to the States right now. As you come say, do having a job, just sitting down.
From Southside, I crossed the front line and stopped at the corner controlled by Broomy, a gunman for the People's National Party.
Wow.
In last year's election, he was almost killed by a JLP fighter. But surviving a bullet in the gut has merely enhanced his reputation. Broomy will spill blood for the politicians because of the help they give in return.
I look up finance to deal it. They must give them a helping hand still. Give them a money or get some goods for them or so anything where them can get. It depends on where you want. If them have a place where them can get the items, them get it and give. If them can't, them give you money and you would buy it and try to set up your little business and try to turn it over.
And what do they expect back in return?
Well, in return, what they expect if you just know so we there, so know say we now go change from them. I mean say at all time them can rely upon we when election corona know say we there to support them.
Yeah.
Many of Broomy's followers will take up weapons at election times. Amongst his crew are Yardie dealers like Thicker, who's chilling out before returning to the crack trade abroad. Thicker was earning £1,000 a day in Bristol before getting caught in a drug war.
Wow.
He says Yardies succeed because they're so single-minded.
Their willpower, it's their drive to go. You know what I'm saying? They love it.
They love it.
Because they love it, they'll do it full time.
They do it full time.
The English guys, like most Afro-Caribbean guys, they do it, but they've got other things to do, like, you know, drive around, you know, they love driving, you know, clubbing and things like that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of Jamaicans don't really go nowhere, they don't know where. They come from Jamaica and they go to Bristol.
Yeah, so when the man them go and start make all of this bag of money, you feel like me go one go on a club or one go on a party. Me don't know about no club or no party, brother. Me don't listen to no music. I want to hear. And money me there for.
That's where they came to live in St. Paul. They know in and around Bristol, nowhere else.
Yeah.
They outnumber and the British guys on the front line, yeah, and they're more violent. They show more respect to Jamaican because, you know, the first thing you say is gunshot.
Yeah.
I then moved on 100 yards to the
first
territory controlled by Lockie. He's just been bailed on a murder charge. He was accused of killing a JLP opponent, but the politicians who protect the gunman got him off. It probably won't be the last charge Lockie faces.
How old are you?
36.
36. So, the guy that got 10 years, he said he's 37 and if him have a change of mind, well, him do a 10-year sentence still. Lucky him get locked up. Imagine that, Lucky get locked up. but he's 36. So it's just 1 year difference in a one man. I say, I wish I could go back to 17 to change my life. Lucky I say, oh, yeah, but they are same way.
That's quite old, isn't it? I mean, some people don't survive that long.
Well, I respect most of my friends don't live that long. Many of them dead. That's my prospect. If I live till me even 100, I watch my grandchildren grow. You understand? But as I'm sure you said, most of the time people terminate such plan for you. Vendetta, right?
So it just goes on and on.
On and on. That's what I tell you, it's a generation thing. It never stop.
It never stop.
My son's never come. This side and that side. I don't see me when them born with the tension and say, boy, them kill him uncle, them kill him brother. Oh, them boy over there, so well, it never stop.
Facts. That still happened today, 2022 and 2023. It's still happening right now.
Under the pressures of life, the social structures here are in flux. 2 children in every 3 don't know who their father is. And for many, the strongest role model on the streets of Tel Aviv is the Yardie.
Analyze.
For Yardies like Michael, the gun is the emblem of authority. His rules are simple: kill or be killed.
If you know a gun come like is not nothing. If a man have a gun and you have to run, you're most weak.
What would happen if the police caught you with the gun?
I might shoot at all. Them I run it now. Them all shoot you and them all with it. So you know you have to fire back shot on them.
As I left Tel Aviv that evening, I didn't have to go far to understand.
Hold on. Look at this, bro. This hasn't changed, by the way.
As I left Tel Aviv that evening, I didn't have to go far to understand the role of the police in the ghetto. At the central police station, there was a wake.
Has broken everybody down.
Sergeant Norton Stewart has been shot dead by a drugs gang. Policing the ghetto is a perilous job and casualties are common. The death of a colleague provokes bravado as well as mourning.
This program contains graphic material, including offensive language. Viewer discretion is advised.
You show me that in the middle? We're literally in the middle of it, and there's no you want to show me that?
But the force is handicapped by rampant ill discipline. The beating of suspects is routine. And every year the police kill at least 150 people while making arrests. Where evidence is hard to find and witnesses are intimidated, the police answer is shoot first and not bother with the questions. For years, corruption within the force has allowed some police officers to grow rich from drug trafficking. Some of the Yardies arrested abroad have turned out to be Jamaican policemen. For the dedicated, the rewards are few.
Why them show him face though in other documentary? Like, loud man in I'm rest, no? Again.
The problems besetting the force have led to the appointment of a new police commissioner, whose task is to root out corruption. In his first 3 months, he's
like all new police commissioners, plan is to root out corruption. Right.
sacked some officers and demoted others. The aim is to persuade the ghetto communities that they should trust the police rather than the street corner dons.
This small minority exists as community protectors, they call themselves. Their finance is a result of narcotics and illegal sale of narcotics. My mission is to try and not only remove them, but by bringing the communities closer to the police, as it has to be. By doing that, one will replace those community protectors by legal, legitimate policemen doing their duties.
Or is it the 90s, this film? Or whenever this film? It's 2022. They're no closer to the police as they were before.
But change won't be easy. In the fight against Yardie crime, the police enjoy little trust. When British and American detectives have tried to track down drug dealers who fled to Kingston to evade capture, they say their requests for help from the Jamaican constabulary have been frustrated. The police have failed to penetrate the heartlands of crime.
Want an interview?
Many blame their impotence on politicians.
That's a gunshot into the windscreen, you know.
They protect the community dons who bring them votes. The police are left uncertain and aggressive.
The police are going in, beating up on the guys on the corner, shooting somebody arbitrarily. It's just a way of getting out their frustration and pretending that they are doing police work. Because for so many years, they have not been allowed to do their work properly. And this has bred within the force itself a set of police whom are by and large untouchable themselves. Even their superior officers are afraid to deal with them because of their political backing.
So you have a police officer that has somebody over him that can't tell him what to do because of his political ties? All right.
In the garrison towns, the politician gets what he wants. A by-election was held in a PNP constituency in downtown Kingston to secure a seat in Parliament for the finance minister. The successful candidate, Dr. Omar Davis, won 99.8% of the votes.
Wow.
His three opponents got 19 votes between them. The party activists had done their job well.
Jamaica has all the institutions of a democracy, but though speech is free, it's hardly candid. Corruption has seeped into the pores of this society. Too many people have something to hide. None of the politicians we contacted was willing to speak on camera. And who can
I wonder
blame them?
why.
There are so many questions to be asked about Jamaica and drugs. The answers could be incriminating.
Yeah.
These rocks, cooked from powdered cocaine, are the lifeblood of the Yardies. A kilo of cocaine bought in the Caribbean will sell for 10 times that amount in Britain.
10 times?
Converted to crack, the profit margin becomes astronomical. Crack and corruption go hand in hand, and those who know what's going on are usually scared to talk openly.
Politicians, police, businessmen, you name it. Everybody's involved somewhere along the line. Right through the ranks, right through the ranks,
Yeah.
It's not only people from the ghetto here who are involved, because they don't have that vast amount of cash to supply the market, so, it's coming from people who have the cash to spend. Because a man in the ghetto, he can't find $100,000 US to go and get coke.
No.
Those who've got real wealth in Kingston live in these hills above the city. The ambition of most Yardies is to make a fortune abroad and buy a mansion back home.
Oh, still going on
It's
today?
said that money from international drug dealing has built many houses here.
Yes.
Danai Williams is facing a £100 million fraud charge relating to car imports. It's said that some of the luxury vehicles he brought in were for political friends. The Americans say his business is a front for the laundering of drugs money. He may face extradition proceedings for his part in a Yardie operation in Texas. Danai is an active supporter of the PNP and helps to provide money for the community dons to keep the party's influence strong. He's confident that his political services will keep him well away from jail.
The trial is not something that I can be convicted. There's no way I can be convicted. I don't have any worry about it. There's no worry in my mind or anything that there will be a problem out of this trial.
I don't believe him.
Do you have friends amongst politicians or ministers? I mean, people that, you know, would not want to see you convicted?
Well, I wouldn't say yes and I wouldn't say no.
So basically you say yes.
Jamaica is the ideal transshipment point for cocaine. The powder comes in from South America by light aircraft or by sea. It then travels to Miami, New York, and on to Britain. This is the Coke Trail. Kingston Airport. It's estimated that 1 in every 4 flights leaving here has cocaine on board.
Wow.
Jamaican officials are suspected by foreign law enforcers of getting their cut from the most lucrative trade in the country. But behind them are some of the political figures, according to US undercover agents.
All they have to do is call up the airports and the ship ports and say, hey, you know, my guy's sending in a shipment of cocaine or a shipment of weed to the United States or the UK or Canada, and that, you know, they'll be blind, deaf and dumb, the guys at the airport and the port authorities.
Why him talk like that, like a fake Michael Jackson?
What do the politicians get out of this then?
They get money, and lots of it too. It goes on until they're out of power. Because this money here, they have to make the money when they're in power. That's when they're out of power. They have enough money in the Swiss bank or Grand Cayman to live a happy lifestyle after they retire from politics.
Facts.
Tony Brown retired from a political career of sorts. He can now afford to relax with his wife at a fashionable beach near Kingston. He was once a top killer for the PNP. Now he's a Yardie drug dealer. When he murdered a policeman just before the 1980 election, he had to go on the run. He fled abroad, like other political gunmen.
Wow.
He was based in New York, but when his crack dealing came under investigation, he used the Yardie network to slip into Britain.
The best shot at the time was to go to London. I spoke to a friend. Then that friend put me on to a friend.
All the time.
That friend took care of getting me somewhere to live. Then he took care, like taking me to meet other friends. So I just did what was really correct. That they said, don't go here, don't go there. I just tucked in.
Which most people don't do. They don't listen, so.
The key thing to all this is having false documents, isn't it? How easy is it to get them?
Getting false documents is like buying a ticket for a bus. So long as you have
the money
up front. That is really what gets you false documents.
Jamaicans call the British passport the Black Book. The trade in crack cocaine couldn't function without it. Some passports come from corrupt officials in Britain. There's no shortage of experts with the skill to provide a convincing new identity for for the Yardie gunmen and dealers.
There's scams in Jamaica where I can get your passport, get your picture out, get back my picture in, and it looks just as good.
Yeah.
You get a brand new passport somewhere or another, you get it. You want a visa for America, you get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want, if your Jamaican passport is messed up, you get a brand new passport, brand new. You know what I'm saying? No trace of an old one. That's it, just dollars.
Facts.
New York City.
Like growing up, them used to tell me, yo, hide your passport, don't make nobody know your passport or see your passport or rake, or people will thief it. I'm like, well, if you thief my passport, I can't use it. But no, them can.
Is the main
them just take out your picture, take out information and put in for them own.
artery of Yardie drug dealing in the United States. From the mid-1980s, they simply swept the other drugs gangs aside. Many Jamaican exiles have put down roots in Brooklyn, bringing with them the culture of Kingston. It provided the ideal cover for the Yardies to move in. The Jamaican street gangs became known as posses. One of the most successful, with links to the People's National Party, had its nerve centre in this building. A posse from Kingston called the Gully Men killed the owner of the block, and for 7 years they ran it as the headquarters of an operation dealing in marijuana, heroin and crack cocaine. It was a license to print money. At its peak they were pulling in $60,000 a day. And the arrival of the Gully Men is a textbook example of the way in which the Jamaican gang seize a piece of turf and make it their own. The vast crack factory symbolised the potential of the US market. But the Gully Men's fortune became the envy of other Yardies, and the violence of Kingston was transplanted to a new arena.
A lot of shootings occurred right here on this corner. There were numerous drive-by shootings. Eventually, the most ruthless of that family driving by was eventually killed, and one of the alleged shooters of that individual and the murderers was Desmond Brown.
Desmond Brown, protected by his Yardie network, is now on the run. We tracked him down at a safe house. He's wanted for murder and faces a life sentence. The man he killed was a Yardie rival from Kingston.
Them come from the same area where me did born and grew up to, just as well as them, but the most bigger man was a kid, that's why they know me. But them had was to leave from the community of Jamaica and in other places hide until they make it them own self to America. So them have problems with my family.
The Yardies never lose their links with Kingston. As they fought for control of the Brooklyn crack market, they turned to their old street corners for recruits.
They would not really trust...
Is it that exchange there?
Kingston. As they fought for control of the Brooklyn crack market, they turned to their old street corners for recruits.
They would not really trust any of the local Americans here to work. What they would do is recruit their own people from back in Jamaica, in the Kingston area, surrounding neighborhoods. They would bring their own people up here to the United States using false passports or green cards for whatever reason to travel. Bring them here, and the new people that would arrive would now become the workers on the street actually selling the drugs.
In Jamaica, you go anywhere so long as you have the money and you want to.
Did you come to New York on your own passport or false document?
See, false documents.
So you've been living on false documents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time will be approximately 1 p.m. He is a male black Jamaican, approximately...
Agents of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms, the so-called Untouchables, are planning a drugs raid.
Untouchables. Right here. And then Carlos and I will be in the graffiti van here, the informant. He's not going to buy it, but judging by their reaction, I'll give you guys the call.
Their target is a gang of Jamaican Yardies making and selling crack in Brooklyn.
Guys try to run. That's beautiful. God bless you, Joe.
Howie has seen one of the defendants with a gun on him. Is that right, Howie?
Is that right, Howie?
The hospital, should we need it, St. Mary's Hospital.
A report by the Bureau identified 30,000 Yardies in the United States. They don't have an organized structure like the mafia. Their alliances are forged by the street corner politics of Kingston.
30,000. My God.
The only thing that would stop us from going in, if he says we don't have anything right now, come back in a half an hour.
Behind me.
The raid is well timed. The agents find one of their targets as expected in this apartment. A second has been arrested at the front of the building.
What?
Dennis downstairs. Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
With one apartment secured, it's learned there are suspects in another.
Wait, it's learned, so the man do inform immediately? Hold on.
With one apartment secured, it's learned there are suspects in another.
How? How you learn that?
Take the shit, Joe. Police! 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 Go, go, go! Police! All right, go, follow me. Go. Police! Police!
The arrested man has been cooking crack for the afternoon trade.
All right, we have stuff. We have product.
We have
The
product.
captive, still in his teens, is an illegal immigrant.
Still in his teens.
Constant seizures of crack have been a blow to Yardie operations in the United States. In the US, arrest for crack dealing means an automatic jail term. If just 5 grams is found, it's a mandatory sentence of 5 years. The ringleader, who was arrested outside, is another Yardie from Kingston, who entered the States on false documents.
Judger.
For the authorities, keeping track of such mobile criminals, who can change their identities at will, presents a unique challenge.
They're every law enforcement officer's nightmare. They're people with tremendous amounts of disposable cash. They have a network internationally, and they're people without any backgrounds. They're people without paper trails.
These guns were found in the bedroom. This is a Beretta 380 caliber.
In the States, and increasingly in Britain, the Yardies favour the most powerful weaponry.
Wow.
It's also semi-automatic. The guns and drugs go together. The guns are used to protect the drug business, and you know, we pretty much expect to find them when we go in. This was found on the table in the living room. Looks as though he was breaking off the crack into smaller pieces and putting them into vials like this.
The success of this raid depended on informants. Infiltration of the gangs has put hundreds of Yardies in jail in America in the last few years.
It is very difficult for drug sellings in the state now.
Yeah.
It's broken, completely broken right now. The best shot right now is Europe.
Europe.
Why Europe? It's the only undeveloped market that really exists outside there now. One of the only undeveloped markets. It is newly opening, and everybody wants a piece of the cake.
Yeah.
In Britain, the Yardies have already been active. A police operation in South London identified a number of Jamaican gangsters who'd entered the country on false passports. The murder of Police Constable Patrick Dunn in Clapham last October is the strongest possible evidence that the lure of crack dealing is attracting the Yardies to Britain.
They certainly perceive the money in the UK as a prime target, because the American market and the Canadian market is totally flooded with crack cocaine. We are still a growth industry for them. The amount of money they make per deal is vastly greater here than what it is in the United States.
Man, them say 10 times that of what them get it from in the Caribbean. 10 times. That'd make anybody risk it all.
Canada.
That's it? Hold on there. Oh, it just done so. It looked like it wasn't done. Hold on. Hold on. Well, I think that's it. Damn. Alright then. I think that's it for real. Let's see, we have another Yardies video right here, so do I might have to go put them, like set them up properly, I guess. Yeah. But anyway. Whew, that was a lot though. That was a lot. Anyway, that was the Jamaican Yardies gang full Gangland documentary. It seemed like it got cut short a little bit still, but we have way more on here to look at still. So, and you know, we love that gangster shit, nigga. So, I'm gonna find another one to do probably tomorrow, maybe. I'm not even sure because I like that one still. I like that still. I don't know, bro. It's just seeing a insight to the life, you know what I mean, and how everything actually work and stuff like that. But and then nowadays the music and the drill is just, it's a lot. It's all connected, you know what I mean. But I still feel like, you know, I'm showing a bad light of Jamaica, but it's not still. Most people know about the beaches and the you know what I'm saying, the pretty sides of Jamaica, but I'm sure a lot of people know about the ugly sides as well. So maybe I should show both, so it don't look like I'm just promoting one type of imagery. You know what I mean? Or maybe that's just me trying to be, you know what I'm saying, a good person, which don't really lead to anything. You being good don't mean anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean anything. So anyway, nice documentary. You know what I'm saying? I like the information. Show me what going on in my country from way back when, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know about a lot of these things, a lot of these people and names and stuff. So I like it still. If you want me to react to something else like this, let me know. If you want me to react to the Skyboy, I think it was like Enfield or something like that. No, we already watched the Enfield one. Skyboy uploaded a new video still. So if you want me to react to some Skyboy or some Gangland documentary or some other gang documentary on YouTube, let me know still. Hit the like button, jump in the comments, and subscribe. Subscribe to me. Check out the music channel and the gaming channel. And I'm out, man. Peace.
A little secret safe with me. Oh, little secret. You and me for just one night. So please, baby, let's do it right. Oh, I'm gonna keep it. And I know your lips still tight, but not tighter than the grip that I feel tonight. So from a step in the place, you say, oh, me no text, you say, oh, me no call you. So me just a go on like me no bother want you. Baby no go on with the one bag of drama. You know say me nah give me love to another. See it say you vex and you want big fight. Babes are the sex so me want ignite. Maybe we argue after round 5 and see if you feel the same way inside. If I want you, breathe, don't bother me. Cause stress and pain is a bad habit.